These motorcycle battery chargers are built to keep your bike ready after weeks of sitting, whether you use AGM, lead-acid, or LiFePO4. We're looking at charging speed, maintenance, low-voltage recovery, and even CAN-bus compatibility, because more amps don't always mean better. Stay to the end to see which approach makes the most sense. Links are in the description, and subscribe before your battery does. At number 5, we have the Battery Tender Junior, and its biggest strength is actually the thing that makes it look weak: its low 750 mAh output. This charger is made to keep a motorcycle battery full while the bike sits, rather than trying to refill a dead battery as fast as possible. Once the battery reaches full charge, it changes to a maintenance stage, so it can stay connected during long storage. The useful part is the simple motorcycle setup. The ring terminal harness stays connected to the battery, turning future charging into a quick plug-in job. It supports 12 volts lead-acid, AGM, GL, and sealed maintenance-free batteries, which covers many common motorcycle battery setups. But here's where its small output matters. If a motorcycle battery is seriously drained and the bike needs to be back on the road quickly, 750 mAh is going to take time. That's not really what this charger is built for. It's much more about preventing a healthy battery from slowly going flat while the motorcycle sits. There's another detail worth catching. This specific model isn't for lithium motorcycle batteries. So its sweet spot is clear: a conventional motorcycle battery that needs to stay charged and ready between rides. Coming in at number 4, we have the Noco Genius 5, and this one can turn a basic battery maintainer into a much more capable motorcycle charger. Its 5 amp output gives it far more charging power than small trickle chargers, but it can still switch into maintenance mode after the battery reaches full charge. It works with 6 volts and 12 volts batteries and supports AGM, gel, conventional lead-acid, and compatible lithium batteries. That makes it useful when different motorcycles in the garage use different battery types. What caught my attention is what happens when the battery is already in bad shape. The Genius 5 can detect very low-voltage batteries, and its force mode can attempt charging when normal detection can't recognize one. That's useful after a motorcycle has been sitting untouched for far too long. Still, a charger can't magically repair a battery that has been damaged by deep discharge or age. And with lithium batteries, the charging mode has to match the battery's chemistry and requirements. So the interesting part of the Genius 5 isn't simply its 5 amps. It's the combination of motorcycle battery charging, battery maintenance, low-voltage recovery, and support for multiple battery types in one unit. Now at number 3, we have the OptiMate 4. And there's one motorcycle-specific feature here that can make the whole charging process much easier on certain bikes. It supports both conventional 12V lead-acid batteries and LiFePO4 lithium batteries, but its BMW CAN-bus support is what really separates it from a basic battery tender. With the correct setup, supported BMW motorcycles can be maintained through the motorcycle's 12-volt socket instead of connecting directly to the battery. That matters when the battery isn't easy to reach, especially on modern motorcycles with more complex electrical systems. The 1.25A charging rate also fits its purpose. This isn't trying to behave like a high-powered car battery charger. It's built around controlled motorcycle battery charging, recovery, and long-term maintenance. And this is where the 4 programs matter. Different battery types and motorcycle setups require different charging approaches, so selecting the correct program is important. The lithium setting isn't something to use just because a battery happens to be small. For a normal lead-acid motorcycle battery, some of the OptiMate 4's extra functions may never come into play, but the BMW CAN-bus connection, lithium support, and motorcycle-focused charging programs make this one considerably more specialized than a generic charger. And that specialization becomes even more interesting with the next pick. At number 2, we have the Battery Tender Plus. And the interesting part is how much more useful it becomes when a motorcycle spends more time parked than running. Its 1.25A output gives it more charging ability than the Junior, while the automatic charging system takes over once the battery reaches full charge. It is designed for 12 volts lead-acid, AGM, and GL batteries, making it a straightforward match for many conventional motorcycle battery setups. The automatic charge and maintain cycle is the main attraction here. Instead of charging once and leaving the battery alone, it keeps monitoring the battery and maintains the charge as needed. The included quick disconnect harness is also handy on a motorcycle. Once connected to the battery, you don't need to keep removing panels or seats just to attach the charger. But there is an important difference from the more advanced chargers higher up this list. This isn't a lithium battery charger, and it isn't built around complex motorcycle electronics like BMW CAN-bus systems. Its strength is simplicity. If the bike uses a conventional lead-acid or AGM battery and spends long periods sitting, the Plus focuses almost entirely on keeping that battery ready for the next start. No unnecessary complexity, just automatic charging and maintenance. And that brings us to number 1, where the charging system gets considerably more specialized. Sitting at number 1, the OptiMate 1 Duo does something especially useful for modern motorcycles. It can maintain both conventional lead-acid and compatible lithium batteries with the correct charging mode. That makes it particularly interesting when you're dealing with different motorcycle battery technologies. The DUO approach is the key here. It is designed for 12 volts lead-acid batteries as well as 12.8 volts LiFePO4 lithium batteries, so you aren't locked into one battery chemistry. For riders who have moved from a traditional AGM battery to a lithium motorcycle battery, that difference matters. Its 1A charging output isn't about getting a completely dead battery running in a hurry. This is a battery maintainer built around keeping the battery charged while the motorcycle is parked. Once the battery is charged, the unit moves into its maintenance cycle rather than simply continuing to charge at full output. The important caveat is battery compatibility. Not every lithium battery is automatically suitable just because it says lithium on the label. The battery needs to be compatible with the charger and its charging requirements. For a motorcycle that sits between rides, especially one using a compatible LiFePO4 battery, that chemistry-specific approach is what puts the OptiMate 1 Duo at the top. It keeps the focus where this whole list should be, turning the key after weeks of sitting and having the battery ready to start the bike.